Hola, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Reliable HVACR podcast. Please, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, any of the major platforms that this is available on, please leave a 5-star review, help the podcast out, and get the word out. I appreciate everybody who tunes in. Now, this is gonna be like some bonus content over on the audio podcast. So if you guys are listening, I'm introducing this new little series, and it's going to be a combination of different things to where it's like really short form content that you can listen to really quickly, get some tips and tricks, a little insight on the business side of things. So the only thing is, I will say that I'm trying to keep this open minded on my end to where like it'll be for people that run a business, start a business, or are looking to start a business in the near future, or are already in the process of doing that. But I'm also going to have these topics be relatable to business owners and guys out in the field, to where these kinds of mindsets and little things that we do should cross over from being a technician in the field to a business owner, right? Being efficient, improving every day, being professional and just doing things, the way you should be. And that can get you very far as a service tech, a install guy, anybody out in the field, or, running a business, because the way you do both should be very professional, efficient, and the best to your abilities. Now, in today's episode, I'm not even sure what I'm going to name it yet. This will just be about improving overall, right? So we can do this, like I said, in different perspectives, being out in the field and running a business. So improving and getting better every day. I mean, that's something that I always tell people is, always be better. And that could be, learning from mistakes, learning after hours, on your own free time, and just being better day to day, just competing with yourself every day. That way, you don't, if you see anybody that does, outstanding work, really good work, whether it's in person, somebody you're riding along with, um, maybe a competitor, or these people that you see like on social media, right? YouTube, Instagram, whatever it may be. You see all these people with picture perfect content, perfect installs, all the line sets are super straight, everything's leveled right, everything's super clean, and there's nothing really to nitpick about. But the reality of it is that they've taken a while to probably get there, right? Some people are just good at things, and they get it right away. They're quick learners, whatever it is. But a lot of times it's a lot of hard work that goes into this, that goes into being the best tech that you can be, the best business owner that you can be, and the best company overall, right? But most importantly, that you can be, really emphasize on that part, that you can be, that you can strive to be, because your best is different from somebody else's best. Now, I'm not saying that there's a limit. I'm not saying that there's a ceiling or anything to these things. It's just like, depends on what you put into it. I just recently had some guests that we were talking about this kind of stuff, because a lot of the guests and people that I see online are a lot younger, right? They're new into the field. They're doing great things at such a young age, and all they want to do is get better. Whatever you can take away from learning from people that are, just are better at it, or have done it longer than you, just implement it into your own, but also take into account, the work habits, the improvement over time. Nobody starts from the top. We all start at the bottom. And even then, you have to think, if you're switching careers, switching companies, or you start a business, you might have been the best technician, the best manager, the best supervisor, the best salesman, whatever it was at your old company. And then either you switch companies or you decide to open up your own business. The one thing that does carry over is maybe your reputation and your work ethic, because they can't take that away from you. But you essentially you start over. Starting over is something that you have to keep in mind, that we all start at the bottom again. So like, once we started our business, my dad started it and I helped him out. He had a reputation, and he had people that wanted him to service their equipment, and he had some customers lined up. But after that, we all start over. We have to get out there. We have to get business. We have to build relationships with new people, new clientele, and we all, we have to humble ourselves. We have to start over, and you start from the bottom again. You're going to be a new company. You as a tech, like I said, you might have a reputation that carries over, right? Some places might be like, oh yeah, he's a great worker. He always fixes things. He's really quick to respond. He's friendly. All this stuff. They take care of us really well when he was at the other company. This and that. But essentially, they don't know you by name, all the time, like new customers. And even if they refer you, they're going to be looking at the company and they're like, well, I've never heard of this company. I've never seen this company. How many guys you got? I haven't seen you guys, trucks out, or different things. And you're going to have to build up the reputation of that new business, that new company, right? So you have to keep that in mind, and you're starting over and you're building this, brand or business from scratch. That whole, thing of always being better, and always doing the little things after work, after hours and stuff like that just carries over. So you're going to do that to build up yourself when you're early in your career to be a better technician, right? You can troubleshoot a little quicker. You can do that install a little quicker each and every day. Every time that you're out there, call to call, you're going to be more you're going to notice all the little things that make it better, right? You're going to be a little bit quicker. You're going to use more zip ties. You're going to use more um, adequate things to secure and make everything safer on each job, because we don't know everything when we start. And you're going to learn what things you can and can't do. Like, all that goes into being a better tech. And then the same thing with the business. So when you go into business for yourself, you're going to learn. You're going to start your business, and you're going to have to look up things. You're going to have to know how to do the business side, as far as like the money coming in, the money going out. I would advise you guys, if you are starting a business, it's really hard to wear all the hats. It's really hard to control, or I wouldn't say control, but to do everything at your business, because there's so much that you have to cover. So obviously, like as far as like money wise and stuff, get a good accountant, find a good lawyer, or somebody that you can at least have on your phone book, your contacts. Just be aware that you might need them, because that's where a lot of companies fail, is trying to do too much. And we've been through that. So when we do too much, other parts of the business suffer. So like, if you're not a business major, if you're not into management or not into the money side of things, and you're new to that, it's okay to outsource that stuff, right? Find an accountant that you trust, a CPA, all this stuff. And then you're going to want to, make sure that you have, or you're very professional looking. So you're gonna have to find somebody to help you out with some logos, a little bit of marketing. Obviously, a lot of us in the trade of at least HVAC knows that word of mouth is huge. But you got to look the part. You got to look professional. You got to have a nice eye-catching logo, or something like your van, your wraps, your lettering on this stuff, business cards. It has to either be eye-catching, something that they'll remember, or it has to scream like what you do, right? So, my little logo there is a flame and snowflake logo. I mean, it's very cliche in the trade that I'm in, but our name says that we do reliable, we do kitchen services. That's in our name. But people get confused a little bit, right? They're like, what exactly do you do? So we spell it out on the van, but we also have a huge logo that everybody corresponds with HVACR. So, we fix your kitchen equipment, but we also do the HVAC side. And I wanted to make sure that that was like front and center on our vans and business cards, and even our shirts. I'm wearing one that has that logo just spread out right in front. And on a lot of our shirts, I even, like I said, like on the vans and the business cards, even on our shirts, I spell it out. We do HVAC, and we do kitchen equipment, so that it's all spelled out for you. There's different aspects, different hats that you have to wear being in business, and it's just about improving all the time. You're gonna get better at everything in the business side. You're gonna try to, you're mostly worried about profits and gaining customers, and making that money, making your payroll, making all the expenses you have to make, with the vehicles, the insurance, the payroll taxes, the payroll, the list goes on and on, right? All the equipment that you need at your business, whatever trade that you're in, if you're watching from another different skilled trade. But when you start, you start over. And like I said, if you don't know how to do something, it's okay to outsource. It's okay to ask. But in your off time, look up these things. Look up how to do the business side. Look up some videos on business practices and what you could do to be better about managing your employees and your business, because you're like I said, you have expenses, equipment that you need to know how to price things, know how to do all this stuff. And you only go as far as you yourself, and this goes for both technicians and business owners. You only go as far as you push yourself, and that is getting better in your off time, asking for help and improving and honing your skills, right? You're only going to be a better business owner if you look at areas that you need to improve. And that could also just be talking to your employees, right? Check in with your employees. We do that constantly, right? We see how they're doing, how they're feeling, if they're getting burnt out. That's another huge thing that we could talk about in the future. But making sure that they have everything they need to do their job correctly. Are they in a good mental state to be able to do these calls? Where another thing is callbacks. We don't want callbacks. Just any little aspect you can do to improve day to day is something that I preach as a technician, and I want to start preaching that as a business owner. Right? You're going to evolve. You're only going to get bigger. There's no shame in being small. When you start, even us, we embrace the small business side of things, and we learn from our mistakes. And I can go over a bunch of that, because learning from your mistakes is like a big thing, but that's how you improve. And that, like I said, that goes for being a technician or being in business for yourself. And I will end on this. A lot of this stuff can be helped by having a really good software like Jobber. And of course, that's the one that I go to. That's been my favorite. I've looked into them. I've done my research before even working with Jobber, because I wanted a CRM, a software, an invoicing plan that would get me everything I needed. So like invoicing, quoting, scheduling jobs. It does all of those things that you would expect it to. And it also helps you, like I said, do as far as like scheduling, like doing maintenance agreements. You can have those scheduled out as you need to keep your business busy year round. Make sure you schedule those out. I have some that are every 6 months. I have some that are every month, and those are all in my Jobber software. If you guys do home service, residential, you can have it to where those customers are notified and reminded that they need service or maintenance or cleanings or whatever you guys offer. That's been big for us. So if you guys have any questions on that, feel free to ask, and I can do future episode on that. This is kind of just the first one that I wanted to go over. All I have to worry about is doing the actual work, the job, and then interacting with the customer and giving them their copy, whether that's email, text. They have a customer portal that's really cool too. If you guys are texting your customers, giving them updates, they can go into that portal and get all these different things. They can pay there too. You get paid quicker. So just want to introduce this little series. Like I said, I'm going to try and make it to where everybody can listen. It's going to be like business related stuff, but it's also the same mindset, trying to be a better tech. Thank you guys for listening. These are just going to be short episodes. Try not to make them too long. If you guys are interested in Jobber for your business, if you guys are doing side work, I highly recommend it too. It makes you look a whole lot more professional than just going out there and collecting it and writing out something handwritten. Go check out getjobber.com/reliable HVACR. You'll get a free 14-day trial, and it should be like a 20% discount. Sometimes they give you more, but free trial and discount, so you can try this without any commitment. See if you like it. Like I said, even if you're doing side work, this is a really good way to look professional. And they have plans as low as $9 a month. They have different ranges depending on what you need as a business. Even if it's a side business, I used to do some side work too, and I always tried to look professional, because it's hard to overcome that part of it. It's I know your quality of work should speak volumes, but looking the part is a very important thing. So that's why I highly recommend a CRM like Jobber. Their software is really great, customizable, and it's super affordable even for just side work. This episode was brought to you by Jobber. I appreciate them for sponsoring this little series, and hope you guys are doing good, being safe, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys.